me look you up and down. Up and G-Herbo. Let me show you how the gangsters do it. I know you try and get it all, turn the brakes and tell off. Let me fuck you to this gangster music. Body banging, I can't refuse it. Pussy good so tight, no, I gotta abuse it. One stroke, two strokes, same beat as the music. Ayy, and that shit so wet, I took the rubber off, can't even use it. I love when you start screaming out when I go deep into it. You know I'm going hard, I can't stop killing it. Love when you're moaning. We go again over and over, no, she my opponent. We'll lose a draw, she leave me breathing hard, I leave her so.
Hey, y'all. What's happening? Yeah, Swervo. How y'all doing? Happy Friday, everybody. How's y'all day, or how was your day today? Oh, shout out to Minneapolis. 88 Kid Flash, like what's going on? I bet the energy there is, I mean, crazy, indescribable. Hey, Winter Cash. What's going on? How's everybody feeling? Mental health check-in, because I feel like we need it. Pluto's retrograde, 24th degree. Follow people in power. Good point. Or at least, you know, a lot of their slips are showing, to say the very least. People in white are writing. I saw a video where everybody in New York was like, what did LAPD suck my dick? I was like, only in New York. Y'all know that was the most New York ass protest chant. Don't nobody invite you to their dick quicker than a nigga from New York. Actually, it be the females who really OD on that shit. Suck my dick. I'm like, okay. I need to stage myself because, well, it is a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. Yeah, well, before I even get into it, I need everybody to hit the like button on your way in. Do that for me. Okay. Because yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I definitely wanted to discuss and kick off the conversation with the fact that transit in Mercury is in Cancer at the moment. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, being a Cancer South Node and having this Mercury so close, like it's almost like a tight conjunction to my South Node, I've been triggered. All of the grandstanding that I do on here, all of the preaching, and I just spent all day in my feels, and being very reactionary, if that's a word. And I think that is an energy that if I'm, looking around, looking on the internet, that's something that I feel a lot of people have going on, and I think it's something that is going to that's an energy that's going to linger, y'all, at least for the next 30 days. A lot of people are going to be very much in they feels, taking things personally. And I always talk about how Cancer deals with race, quite honestly, quite frankly, and feelings of either patriotism, strong patriotism, or at least a very strong instinct to defend and protect those whom you care about. And obviously, as it pertains to the Black community, this kind of theme has played out in in the aftermath of the slaying of George. I can't remember his last name. So no offense, not trying to be rude. I just can't remember his last name. But the gentleman who was killed, right? A lot of people, I mean, it was very triggering. It was very triggering. My own city surprised the fuck out of me. The whole city is boarded up. Cops ran. Their time is up. And there's another, I guess, part of this that I wanted to address, just because I had to actually check myself, because it's easy to get swept up in the current, right? With Cancer and Mercury, it's easy to just get to drown really in the static and in your emotions, and be triggered and kind of take a walk down memory lane, right? That Mercury and Cancer will have you strolling through the past for, better or for worse. And I do want to caution people, and this is somebody, y'all know I'm Sister Motherfucking Soldier. I don't have no problem with motherfucking blood being shed. However, if I'm going to be loyal to the soil and being honest about this transit, I really want to caution people to be mindful and be aware, because what happens is when people are in heightened states of emotional, like I said, reactiveness, or whatever, however you want to phrase it, it can cause you to make mistakes. It can cause you to throw logic out the window and do things that you otherwise would not be moved to do. It can cause you to act beside yourself. You know what I'm saying? And although I am totally not against rioting. I'm not against looting. And I had a whole back and forth with several people on social media platforms, because you have a lot of people who are like, well, the businesses didn't do anything, the corporations didn't do anything. Now, we're talking about mom, pop, local communities, or local shops within the community per se, obviously, right? It wouldn't be beneficial to destroy them. Bitch, you crying about Target, huh? Move the fuck around a whole multi-billion-dollar corporation that probably doesn't even pay its fair share in taxes like most of these other corporations do, who have an allotted fund that is specifically for instances like this. I don't feel bad. These are the same people who buy out legislators, lawmakers, politicians, and pass bills in their favor, So like, you're not going to make me feel bad about a motherfucking Target or AutoZone, Yo Zone, that zone, her zone, in my zone. I don't give a fuck. However, I do feel like even when you look at war, from a historical standpoint, war is more than just, the art of warfare is more than just being in your feels, right? And then being triggered. Because when think about your emotions, they can get messy. Mercury in Cancer is messy as hell. And it can cause you to do messy shit, sloppy shit, things that are not really thought through to its fullest. And then your ability to be a good warrior is going to be mostly predicated upon your ability to think strategically and clearly, which is going to be difficult to do given this transit. I'm going to take a look at the comments now before I dive a little deeper. Whew. You listening from Australia? Shout out to Australia. You respect the NYPD? Yeah, and I also want to set the tone. I don't fuck with the police. Fuck the police. Everybody has the right to their opinion. I don't fuck with them. We need some Palo Santo for the world right now and some sage. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Sierra. Hi, Adrian. George Floyd. Okay. For in light of this George Floyd scenario, a lot of shit has been going on. Irrationality. Good point. Exactly. Ali. Will I be talking about the upcoming eclipses? I won't. I actually can make a separate video for that. Tonight's live stream is mostly going to be dedicated to the transits that have taken place over the past couple of days in direct correlation to these events, right? These events that are transpiring. And then also, I wouldn't mind kind of veering off into the celebrity sector because I did see some interesting things. I don't know if you guys heard of what is this man's name? Shamik Moore. He was the Spider-Man and he played in a couple of other movies. Y'all, I actually used to think he was fine at a certain point in time when he had like facial hair. And before I realized that he was one of those like little quirky black boys. No, there's nothing wrong with being quirky and black. I love blackness in all shapes and sizes and forms, but he just, something about his energy never really sat right with me. And I was actually validated in that assumption after watching a video that he did where he basically said that Rosa Parks could have just took a taxi or a cab. And I said, nigga, what? Come again? Huh? Straight? She should have took a cab. What the fuck are you talking about? So I actually pulled up his birth chart, and you used to think he was cute too, Mercedes. Exactly. A black-owned cab. I'm like, nigga, what? Like, this is what I'm talking about. And this is actually a really good example of the manifestation of Saturn in Aquarius. If you're not really fully aware and really understanding that these celebrities are full of shit right now, if you're not really starting to see how this playing field is like the ultimate equalizer, I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and hop off the planet for me. Go ahead and log out for me. Go ahead and log out. Because when it comes down to it, not only, when you think about Saturn, dealing with the government, dealing with authority and higher powers, we're not just necessarily talking about, like I said, government officials. We're talking about people, anybody who is highly revered in people who have a certain amount of pull over the masses. And I would argue celebrities definitely fit that. But nonetheless, when Saturn is in Aquarius, it's kind of like a collective moment where people look around and go, hey, wait a minute. What exactly makes you better inherently than me? What makes you inherently smarter than me? What inherently makes you in the position where you get to tell me what the fuck to do? Okay, like a rebellious teenager. And for the next year or two, we're going to go through this kind of mass level of awakening, both, like I said, within our government and, just within our society in general, where there's going to be a major reprioritization of who the fuck is supposed to be important. Because these celebrities confuse their popularity and their fame with them having like actual valuable knowledge to offer people. And then that, winds or turns into people hopping on the platform and saying shit like Rosa Parks should have took a damn cab. What? Like, I just, a lot of these celebrities are full of shit. And I will always say this, it's time to eat the rich. Saturn in Aquarius. It's going to be time to eat the rich, and I feel no ways about it. To some people, it might seem very radical. That's also Saturn in Aquarius, because they ain't no half stepping. Okay, with Saturn, Aquarius actually being governed, co-ruled by both Saturn and Uranus. Uranus is here to shake shit up. Okay, while that Saturn element is here to lay down a new law. And this is why a lot of Aquarian people or people with very prominent Aquarian placements, they're like unpredictable Capricorns. They're just as they can be just as rigid and unyielding in regards to their beliefs in laying down a new, a new law or this new world order, right? But we gotta completely do away with systems that are no longer serving us. And I don't, for the life of me, understand how valuing and putting the rich and the wealthy and these athletes and these singers and actors on a pedestal simply because you can dribble a ball or sing a note. It doesn't make you inherently better than me. It doesn't make you inherently smarter than me. And the minute we kind of collectively, and once again with that Aquarian energy, we realize the power in the collective, y'all tell me what's going to happen. Y'all tell me. He's a goofy nigga in a turtleneck. But I heard what he said, and I was like, bitch, with black-owned cab company. Yeah. I can't make this shit up, y'all. Saturn, Aquarius, We're going to get into it. People acting unreasonably together. I'm glad I didn't see that Spider-Man movie. I've never been into that type of thing. Like those, what you call it, Marvel movies. Since quarantine started, these celebrities have been showing they're boring. And they've also been showing that they, when it comes down to it, these motherfuckers will die without attention. They will die. They will shrivel up, wither away, and fucking die. My nigga, like so much so that they come up with new ways to attract and absorb other people's energy, like verses. Don't get me wrong, the Erykah Badu and Jill Scott verses was everything I tuned in. But let's be honest about this. There's something very narcissistic, and this is where that Leo element comes in. And this is why I always say you will see very prominent Leo energy in celebrity birth charts, because there's something so fucking narcissistic about like listening to your own dancing and listening to your own music for 3 to 4 hours, right? While you're enlightening us with stories as to how the song came to be. And well, I remember it was a Tuesday and I had a sandwich for breakfast and I was thinking to myself, maybe I should write another hit. Maybe I should write a banger. And I was eating a BLT for breakfast and I said, that's it, BLT. And that's hence my latest single, BLT, and that's how it came about. And I'm just so thankful to be able to share. Like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Because if you think about it, why can't we just listen to that music like on the streaming platforms that already exist? Come on, like it's just whatever. So let me step off of my high horse. I digress. Okay. And in a few more seconds, once we get those likes up, for those of y'all who are just now joining me, hit that thumbs up button, and then we can dig into some more of these transits taking place. Did y'all see that shit with Azalea Banks? I did, and she's another person who I actually want to get into, because as I was stating in my Doja Cat video, she was the first victim from a celebrity standpoint of this Mercury or Gemini North Node transit. But Azalea Banks is a very close second. She's the second victim for reasons that we will discuss once we finish with these transits. I'm disappointed in myself for even thinking he was fine. Me too. So, I think we can all agree, ladies, there's a collective level of shame in thinking that Shamik Moore was sexy at one point in time. We take it back. I call myself protesting downtown Houston. What was that like? See, I wish I was still in Houston because I know that energy is probably crazy. In Atlanta, they done fucked up the CNN building, child. They done fucked up the thing in my funky Dineva voice. They said they were throwing bombs in the building. I don't know. I'm in full support, okay? I've been telling people for the past week, Obama didn't give a fuck about us. And you've been telling them right, because he doesn't. So... But the people who are regulars in my chat know not to speak favorably of that motherfucker. Not here. Fuck Obama. We ain't got nothing for him. I mean, I'm being facetious here. Realistically, I know Obama did some good things in office, but the totality of his legacy is not cute. Okay. Obama doesn't give a fuck about your black ass. How about that? Ludacris showed me he is such a fucking narcissist. Most of these celebrities are narcissists. Most of them. Who the fuck thought Kylie was a billionaire? Let me start on that. The energy was cool until I left. I'm in ATL is wild. It is. So, like, what part of ATL are you at, Kalina? Downtown Houston was as crazy as Atlanta. Yeah, look, because I'm in Atlanta too. And like I said, word on the curb is they fucking up the thing. People are going to use this opportunity to fuck shit up just because. I'm not necessarily against that either. Like I said, I'm very what most people would call radical. I mean, my natal Saturn is in Aquarius, in my 4th house, in addition to me being a Sagittarius sun and Libra rising. So I'm all about justice, no matter, the means. I don't give I'm a complete anarchist, y'all. Don't look, take my, because I understand that as my platform grows, I do have a certain level of responsibility. So, everybody is free to be their own individual self and think the way that you want to think. But don't watch me, sugar. Watch TV, because I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a fuck. Burn it down. Obama didn't really do much. That's just that on that. And the much or the something that he did do was very fucked up. But that's a different video for a different day. Y'all get those likes up, and then I'll start in a few seconds. Nigga said T.I. said Atlanta was Wakanda. So yeah, about that. T.I. can go straight to the hottest part of hell. We don't give a fuck about T.I. or nothing that he has to say. And as once again, an Atlanta native, T.I. don't speak for me. Okay? T.I. needs to be somewhere with his nose buried in a encyclopedia, period, or a dictionary, Webster. Trying to, conjure up some more big words to use. Azalea Banks, yes, slept with Dave Chappelle. Allegedly. But I think it's true. You cannot become a billionaire overnight. That just doesn't happen. That's true. Why Azalea exposed that man for no reason? Azalea had a lot going on. My friend lied about the CNN Center. Ooh-wee. Your mom's an Aquarius, North Node. My mom is trying to hide behind the scenes. I'm a Leo, North Node, and I want to be in the spotlight for some reason. People are going to fuck up low-income cities. They ain't taking shit. Now, that is a good point, Lilith. Because about that. I live in a neighboring city. It's maybe about 15 minutes outside of the city of Atlanta, like downtown city limits. And yeah. 12 ain't going for that. Black people think Obama is for us. Unfortunately, they do. Fuck it. Oh, no, fuck T.I. T.I. Crime Stoppers. Okay. Yes, please get the likes up. We go through this every live. I'm just looking out for my girl. Yes, thank you so much, Scorpio Forever. She killed all them chickens for nothing. Listen, about Azalea Banks, she is my big sister. I'm not going to lie. She's my big sister in my head. She is my problematic fave, and I can fully hold her accountable for some of the things that she says. But I'm going to be real with y'all. Sis is actually correct. She speaks real life facts 80% of the time. It's a situation where, because people know you for a certain thing, and you know how society is, they put you in a box. You gain a reputation for being A, B, C, and D, and then everything you say is going to be dismissed, right? Everything you say is going to be. Azalea Banks could come on live and be like, y'all, the sun is yellow and the sky is blue and the grass is green, and niggas be like, shut your ass up, Azalea. Look at this hating ass bitch. We hate Azalea. Go home, Roger. Like, because you just don't like her. But I do feel like Azalea Banks is the perfect depiction of a Black woman with problems, mental problems. And I know for a fact the way that people treat Black women with issues. I mean, Black women are already the most unloved creatures on the planet. And then when you take into account a Black woman with mental illness and a host of other traumas, you know, not to once again not hold her accountable for certain things, but you have to be honest with yourself. People don't see it for her, and a lot of it has to do with colorism. A lot of it has to do with favoritism. A lot of it has to do with her being a woman. Because even with Kanye West, who is her Gemini counterpart, engaging and suffering from a lot of the same ailments as she does, yes, he does receive a lot of criticism, a lot of it, but the nigga just reached billionaire status. Like, what's tea? Everybody is clearly not angry. And, you know, Azalea Banks is just incredibly talented. I love her. So y'all will never hear me say a crazy thing. I'm very biased, and I will be up front with that bias when it comes to Azalea. That's my bitch. Okay? That's my motherfucking bitch. She does need help. She needs help. Azalea Banks Street Truth, but is layered, is coated in a layer of crazy. But she holds white people and Black men accountable. I think she holds a lot of people accountable. She not even ugly. Exactly. She's not ugly. She's not ugly. Azalea Banks, there's nothing ugly about Azalea Banks. But before I get too deep off in the weeds, let's go ahead and cover these transits, because y'all know I'm good for going on a tangent. So, like I said, currently with Mercury in Cancer, it's conjoined to this Gemini North Node. And baby, this Gemini North Node has been popping shit, okay? Kicking ass and taking names. So, as I said before, this could deal with heightened emotions, memories from the past, people operating from their own biases, being very defensive, and often even, like I said, short-sighted in a lot of their views, a lot of their approaches. Because even when you think about Cancer, you know, it's represented by the crab. And what do crabs do when they feel threatened, right? They clam up, they snip at people. So, I mean, people, the emotional current is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And for this reason, I do recommend a lot of you guys kind of take time to unplug from what's going on, unplug from the media. You know, as a good friend told me, gather the facts, enough facts so that you know what's going on, and then fall all the way back, y'all. Don't get caught up in this current. It's better if you want to be on your revolutionary shit, do so with a very clear and strategic mind. And ain't nothing clear and strategic about Cancer. A lot of people are also, you know, they have a very difficult time understanding other people's plight, putting the shoe on the other foot, understanding where other people are coming from because of this natural predisposition towards subjectivity. So there's that. And then, of course, there's that racism element. Now, I noticed, and I believe the official first protest in Minneapolis started on the 26th, I believe. Feel free to fact check me there. But I noticed a drastic change in turn in events on the, let's see, what was this? I believe this was on the 28th, May 28th, which is what, maybe 2 days, well, it was Thursday, yesterday. Is when you really kind of started seeing a drastic shift. And I wanted to point out a few things about, you know, what was taking place on yesterday. So yesterday, you had Mercury, which was at that time at the 29th degree of Gemini, conjunct that Gemini North Node. Now, here's something important to understand about this. This deals with people having a lot of opinions, and myself included. Okay, myself included. this transit, and even with this Gemini North Node transit, be on the lookout and be prepared for a lot of people to be very expressive and vocal, not only like with their feelings and thoughts, but people are going to feel very strongly about things. And that's also reinforced with that number 29, as the number 29 deals with extremes. Okay, so extreme and radical shifts in thought and in perspective. That number 29 also deals with race, racial relations. So, you can't make this shit up. This could even deal with people being, once again, very argumentative. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't engage in about 11 Facebook debates, and I'm tired. Okay, people could be lacking filters during this time, and everybody just kind of has their own frivolous opinions and ideas that they want to express. And I mean, the good part of that is that, you can kind of get like a dialogue going, but the bad side, the downside to that is everybody don't know what the fuck they talking about. People just be talking. Also, this could deal with people falling on both sides of any issue, people rationalizing actions that, could honestly be hard to defend. Okay, there's a tendency to be able to rationalize anything, and there's this prevalent theme of moral relativism, I guess is what they call it, when Gemini is in Mercury, and particularly conjunct this North Node. Also, the sun or transiting sun was at the 7th degree of Gemini as well. So even more Gemini energy. And then number 7 deals with illusions. The number 7 deals with, chaos, lies, secrets. And it was squaring Mars, which is currently in Pisces. And right there, it even kind of further supports what I was saying in regards to a lot of our, I guess you could say, a lot of the exchange that's taking place between people being predicated upon, just simple chaos, if you want to be honest, sheer chaos. And it could kind of sabotage any efforts in having like a very honest, straightforward discussion about things. This could also even deal with very strong local community activity, hence all of the Gemini energy, right? People, all of these riots and protests, and once again, chaos erupting within each local community, people taking things and justice into their own hands. Once again, even with taking it back to Mercury at the 29th degree, that number 29 can also even deal with violence. Okay. But nonetheless, that Gemini sun at the 7th degree squaring this Mars and Pisces could also even point towards a lot of spiritual activity taking place. I feel like there are a lot, and this is just intuitively speaking, a lot of spirits, like the veil between the spirit world and the actual material world is very thin at the moment. And what we could potentially witness are people or spirits or entities crossing and like breaking that fourth wall. And you could look at this as like possession. A lot of people are going to be possessed during this time. It just is what it is. And it doesn't necessarily look like, what do you call it? Like the, what is the movie, The Exorcist, where the bitch is in the bed, her head is spinning around? Like that's not quite it. But I do feel like there's a lot of, it could even point to where and solidify what a lot of intuitives and astrologers and psychics are saying in regards to this definitely being spiritual warfare, y'all. This is definitely spiritual warfare. And it also even points towards a larger hidden agenda, which is another reason why I'm definitely not trusting the media. Once again, with the media being represented by that Gemini North Node. You know what I mean? So there's something to think about, y'all. Be very mindful about and guard your eyes and your ears and the things that you take in, because there's a lot the media and information is being weaponized, you guys. And it actually makes me think about some of the conspiracies that have been floating around, quote unquote, when people were talking about how there were police officers who were undercover. And even when you think about the whole concept of being undercover, that's their Mars Pisces energy all day, like masquerading, incognito, right? Like secret warfare, where it's like, these are the people who are really torching the fire station or the police stations and causing havoc in order to carry out, like I said, a secret agenda. And another way to even look at that is all of this damn Mercury energy, Mercury or Gemini energy, Mercurian energy, because it carries this duplicit, dual agenda type of nature, y'all. So that like what you think you see, you probably don't even see. And that's why I was so disappointed in myself earlier for getting so caught up in the current, because the 3D isn't as reliable as a lot of y'all would like to believe it is. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. So be very mindful of the media. There could be a lot of propaganda in the media. And also, once again, taking it back to this theme of chaos, despite people having good intentions, because that's another manifestation of Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces is very charitable. It's kind-hearted. It's all-inclusive, and it's very sensitive to the pain and suffering of other people. But squaring, the transiting sun in Gemini, it can create an effect to where, like I say, despite even having the best of intentions, people don't know whether they're going or coming. This could also even deal with groups of people being scapegoated and, just reinforcing things not really being as they appear. Okay. Also, transit in Mercury at the time yesterday, I believe kind of today, I'm not sure, I got to go check. But at the time, it was forming a quincunx to our Saturn in Aquarius, right? That retrograde Saturn in Aquarius, which definitely resulted in triggering this level of anarchy, right? Riots, rebellion, once again, with that community aspect, dealing with that Mercury and Gemini. You could also even look at this as a lot of people, once again, being very vocal about their opinions via social media, a lot of information being spread on social media. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised, once again, with this Saturn element, if the government had their hand in certain information being pushed, that certain information that has been pushed through the media. Also, Mercury was forming a quincunx to this Jupiter in Capricorn, which deals with, and I believe that's also retrograde. We got like about 50 million retrograde planets. But this deals with there being a flip narrative and kind of reinforcing that theme, being spun and controlled by the government with that Jupiter and Capricorn influence. Also, with it being or dealing with there being two sides to the truth. But you can also even look at this aspect as like people trying to break away from the restrictive chains, communities flexing their muscles. And once again, it's just this prevalent theme of like a free-for-all, so to speak. And I'm gonna look at the comments right now. Lord, that precinct on fire looked beautiful. It did. Are y'all still live? YouTube hating on my side? Yeah, we still live as far as I know. I just found out my sun sign is at the 29th degree of Scorpio and having that explains a lot of your situation, Scorpio forever. And that's a very, very intense degree to have in a chart. 29 is Leo energy. No, it's actually more so Aries energy and Cancer energy. Mars and Pisces. And honestly, I would even argue Scorpio energy, because Scorpio is another sign that is very dynamic and deals with extremes. The mean node is at Aries at the point of Cancer. There you go, racial tensions. literally like a race war is what people are calling it these days. So there's that. Staying inside. Thank you for the super chat, lovely man. Portals are all the way open. That's correct. Just like I said, that we are dealing. A lot of intuitives are saying that. And I'm actually into cartomancy. I do cartomancy readings. Yeah, and I actually, maybe I might pull out my deck and do a little, you know what I'm saying, something to kind of supplement some of this energy that I'm seeing here. I wonder if people at the protests and riots are going to get the Rona. Well, not for nothing, that Gemini energy also deals with like the lungs, which is very interesting because I always kind of wonder, especially with all this Gemini energy, and then we got the retrograde, Venus retrograde and whatnot. I always wonder how it will play out, because depending on the condition of the planets and if they're afflicted or not, it can absolutely result in breathing issues. You could, in charts I've seen this manifest in people who've had bronchitis, pneumonia, other type of respiratory tract infections. So given what we know to be true about the Rona, I don't know. It's super confirmation of what I know. Come on, Firewater. You already know we're in a spiritual warfare. I've been saying this for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if the government cut off the internet. Or at least, how, I don't know if you know, they're passing a lot of laws and whatnot to basically, what is it called? Like where the government can check or track your history, your internet browser history, that amongst other things. And to, not to take it back to politics, I hate to go there and really just, be that girl this time. But a lot of this started with Obama. This has been a slow trickle. Of course, Trump kind of just, expedited the process because we already clearly know where he stands in a lot of his political leanings. But, this slow trickle as far as, the increasing the surveillance state, right, with that Saturn element. Oh, God, that shit's definitely started with Obama. So let's be very, very clear and concise about that, which can lead to a lot of different things. So, even I tried to call a bitch a cunt on Facebook because I love using that word. I know I'm black, but I love to cuss a motherfucker out and call a bitch the cunt, especially if she white. Because, girl, I'm finna fuck around and make a Karen cry today. No shade to all of my, my vanilla brothers and sisters who are actually self-actualized and in the spirit. You guys know that your ancestors were evil as shit and you come from white supremacy and you're willing to kind of help, eradicate a system that you benefit from. If that's you, I'm not talking about you. But the Karens, I was trying to call a bitch a mean old nasty cunt, and I almost got kicked off of Facebook. But, that goes back to the whole surveillance state and there being restrictions on engagement, right? Via online, everybody's policing, what they do, what they call it, fact checking. And although I will say with the internet, once again, us living in the age of Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, obviously you're going to have a lot of information that isn't correct, so to speak, but that's for each individual to be able to kind of do their own work and sift and sort through information and use their own discernment and kind of be their own scientists. But it's not for, however, the government to call themselves, stepping in to be like these quote unquote fact checkers, because the problem with that is who gonna check the fact checkers? Because if y'all think that these people are being very just altruistic in the way that they're choosing who's quote unquote fake news and who's not, you smoking a bag of dicks. I hate to be the one to tell you, lay off the pipe. There is something very fishy about a corporation, which we already know how these corporations get down, being able to tell one person, okay, well, this news is false and this news is true. And come on, think about it. If I were in charge, if I were part of the elite in a smoke-filled back room, trying to take over the world like Pinky and the Brain, bitch. Of course, I'm finna be like, okay, well, yeah, you know, we got this new idea where we're gonna call, you know, this, we're gonna implement a new rollout called Fact Checker, and all the girls who are really spilling the tea on what it really is, bitch, you're fake news. You're fake news. And so let me get on my high horse, but that is, yeah, on my soapbox rather. Thank you, Antonia, for the super chat. But yeah, that is another manifestation of that Saturn and Aquarius bullshit. There's a lot behind all of this stuff. Yep. First it was all about COVID. Yep. That's a big fact. Scorpio forever. Your phone shut down 3 times. See? Donald really threatened to release the military on people. He crazy as fuck. But he been crazy. He been showed y'all what he was about. And he's somebody else where this lunar nodal transit. Oh, baby. Let me actually pull up his chart too while we're at it in real time. Because Donald Duck, the Trump, is actually a Gemini sun, Sagittarius moon, y'all. So this man, and this even deals with him being somebody who's, I mean, given that he's a Sagittarius South Node anyway, this explains why he has such a horrible track record with race relations and racism. But, you know, prepare for this shit to fucking like double, triple, quadruple. And like I was saying before in my last live, you know, something else to kind of be on the lookout for is global relations and international affairs. Oh, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Shit is going to hit the fan very soon. He retracted his dumbass tweet though. And, you know, he's such a Gemini. They, like, once again, you know, feeling super opinionated. A lot of Geminis are people with that Gemini energy. You know, this Gemini transit is definitely going to bring about people who feel vindicated. And I know a lot of my Gemini people feel super charged up, but these, you know, they feel super vindicated in spewing these very strong and oftentimes maybe even offensive opinions and rhetoric. The cabal is falling. Come on, I don't even know what cabal is, but let that motherfucker fall. They called and went in on his ass. I just know people behind him told him to shut the fuck up. Why? Oh yeah, they hate that word, girl. You called him a CUNC, bitch. They go, oh! They act like you said you finna kill their children or something. What did you just call me? Take it back. My girl. Nice try, colonizer. I won't take it back. I can say that when I was at the rally, there was a lot of other races besides African American. And that's something else. And let me just, you know, kind of in efforts to be objective here and not paint the wrong picture. I've actually been pleasantly surprised by that too, by the fact that, and especially within my, like the astrology community, I've seen a lot of my fellow astrologers, my vanilla ones, who have actually done a really good job at standing in solidarity. You know, people who have, I saw this meme of this group of white protesters like forming a barrier, like on some like 1950 March to Selma type shit in front of Black protesters. And that shit was okay. Like, that's the best way that you can show your solidarity. Like, put your body on the front line. Like, what's happening? And I fuck with it. I fuck with white people who are, you know, hushing and holding each other accountable by saying, listen, this is not our situation. Therefore, we do not have the right to have such strong opinions on this. Like, let's just step back and let these people handle their own in-house politics and process whatever the fuck they're going through in their own way. I don't understand your experience. I don't know. I could never know your experience. My ancestors were directly responsible to contributing to your experiences. So with that in mind, let me know what I can do to help, and I'm gonna just relax. And if that's you, oh, I fuck with you the strong way. Now, if it's not you, I'm gonna just keep reading these comments. I'm obsessed with Jennifer, which yes, that shit was hilarious. Hey, Madam of Hugh, Madame of Hugh. Project Mockingbird. They say so is catchy. Weird ass bitch. Did you see when a white woman drove downtown Houston with her gun trying to cause a riot? Probably. I just had an epiphany. Like, that's so Raven. Hold on, let me go back to my transit chart. I just had I had a brain blast. Okay, so on Thursday, transit moon was in Leo, y'all. And speaking of actor, Leo is the sign of the actor. And it was opposing Saturn in Aquarius. Y'all, this opposition could absolutely deal with there being, what do you call it, agents. Like agents, I mean, agents who are infiltrating, you know, the movement, or what do you call it, crises actors, or so on and so forth. Oh my goodness. And it's forming a quincunx. It was forming a quincunx to Mars and Pisces, y'all. That's the illusion. That was the illusion. Oh my God. A word. They got these folks out here playing a role. And that is crazy. That is crazy. Oh, wow. Wow. The chat is acting weird. Thank you for this super chat. I am Taj. I don't know why it's acting weird. Most of the aggressive people I saw were not Black people. This is so interesting. What's going on with the chat? Can y'all hear me now? If y'all can hear me, put some fire emojis. If y'all can hear me. If everything is like good to go. You can't see comments? Okay. Brenjanae asks, do you set up an ancestor altar? I do have an ancestor altar. You already know. Cancer is the sign of the ancestor. I am a Cancer South Node, so it is imperative for me to kind of gain some knowledge. Now, my approach towards ancestor worship and that kind of thing, I'm not one of those people who just generically is like, oh, like I worship my ancestors, because the truth of the matter is, and maybe this is an unpopular opinion in like the spiritual community, we don't necessarily know all of our ancestors. And unless you have the type of spiritual range and aptitude to be able to feel for them yourself, and trust them, because let's think about it. Our ancestors, a lot of them were regular humans like you and I, which is why some people come from weak ass, fuck ass, trick ass bloodlines, and others come from kings and queens and, you know, like what the fuck is happening, like royalty. Yeah, some people have ancestors who were caught up in all types of trauma and then crossed up your whole motherfucking bloodline, and you worshiping the ancestors. I don't know. You know, I don't know. So for me personally, my great grandmother, my big granny is what I call her, who passed on in 2012. She was a Libra. Loved her to pieces. And I've always felt so close to her. And actually, she was a intuitive. She was, and I think she is where I get a lot of my psychic abilities from, because it actually runs in my family. So my big granny was I can't remember if she was clairaudient or clairvoyant. I think she was more so clairvoyant. But you know, they're from Mississippi, and you know how Black people are, like the people within the Bible Belt. She kind of she was indoctrinated with religion to a certain extent, but she was very psychic, and she was on top of things. She was very proud of her psychic capabilities. I got some cousins who are as well, an aunt who's very intuitive. So like it runs in my family, and she is who I base my ancestral altar off of. So I do things that honor her. I buy her favorite foods. I when I'm thinking about her, I think about things she would say and things that she would do. And she has graced me and blessed me in so many ways. Just thinking about her now, I'm just getting beside myself. But that's one way to go about it, if that's your thing. But I wouldn't just recommend niggas be out here just, generically worshiping all ancestors, because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. You don't know other people like that. Some people say that we have been patient for so long. What else is there to do? I just don't believe in going to jail. But the truth is, Jessica, and this is an unpopular truth, and it's an ugly truth. If you're not willing to die for what you believe in, you might just have to sit this one out, or just support from the sidelines, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in and of itself. Because think about it, if we thinking on some true revolutionary shit, we ain't got no room for people who are half-heartedly, and not to say that you are, you are dedicated or committed to it any less. But if you got apprehensions about certain things that come with it, maybe the warrior route is not for you. And which leads me to my next point. Well, let me check the chat before I go to my next point, because I'm kind of going to expound upon that, because this is a part of an unpopular opinion that I have that people have caught themselves cussing me out about all day long, child. Exactly. So many actors. The comments are slow. I'm so sorry that the comments are doing this. You can be busy on the spiritual. Yeah. But I feel like Black Lives Matter is more for me. That's exactly where I'm going with it. Hold that thought, Virginia. Revolution sounds cute, but revolution is a serious thing. People are going to die. Exactly. And it's never going to be the people that deserve it. You could set up a whole city of bliss. But that's my point, Lilith. Ain't shit fair. The fair come twice a year, or does it come once a year? Point is, ain't shit sweet and ain't shit fair. So I completely understand the totality of what a revolution means. Now, granted, I don't think everybody does. I don't think a lot of people do. But that's why I said it's an ugly truth. Okay? Because if that's what you're really talking about, because think about it. One shit fair about the way that this country even came into existence. So on that same note, there were a lot of people who died that didn't deserve to die. A lot of them were Black. A lot of them were Native Americans. Go check in with them and let's ask a Native American what's fair and what's not. So at this point, it's really from a spiritual standpoint about survival of the fittest in a lot of different respects. Like I said, it's not cute. It's an ugly truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. And if you are really committed to that mindset, you got to be willing to die about your shit. Because historically speaking, nothing was ever accomplished, and nothing of significance was ever accomplished by people who weren't willing to die about their shit. The people that a lot of the figures that a lot of people kind of hold as tokens whenever we get to talking about anything involving race is Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Now, I respect Brother Martin Luther King, but Malcolm X is like, I look at him as my granddaddy, okay? My granddaddy died for what he believed in. And if y'all not willing to die for this shit here, you got to really question. You got to question some things. Now, I believe in sending a message through violence, but this ain't it. There should be a strategy into it. And I agree with that too. And that takes me back to my original message where I say, especially with this Mercury Cancer transit, you got to be very mindful about getting washed in the currents, like Angel Uriel would say, flight loss. Don't get swept up in the currents. You gotta be. You have to strategize with a very rational mind. So, I mean, there is that. But taking it back to the point that I did want to make, I don't condemn people, and Black women specifically, who don't want to be and take an active part of this movement, simply because Black women should not have to be Black men's attack dogs when it comes to fighting white supremacy. We just shouldn't. We just shouldn't. Because we are the same women that when all of this blows over, in the meantime and in between time, we funky Black bitches and dog head face funky bitches for the streets and some more shit. But the minute y'all, you see what I'm saying, something happens, because even think about the inception of this movement. And once again, God bless George, is it Floyd? George Floyd. God bless the man. God bless the brother. God bless his soul. And I'm hoping that he has a peaceful as peaceful as it can be. I hope he transitions into the spirit realm and overcomes this trauma. However, there was just a Black woman who was shot in her sleep, y'all, by the police. Where was her riot? The young lady, the Black woman who was shot in her home when the police just came in to do a quote unquote wellness check. Where was her riot? Hands, anyone in the chat? Where's the riot? Where's the riot? The little girl. I mean, we can go down a list of people where it's like women, specifically Black women, Black children, where it's like the people who are the most quote unquote vulnerable, who are supposed to be the most vulnerable part of society, right? The women and the children are being slaughtered, pillaged. And if y'all want to be super real about it, a lot of this abuse comes at the hands of Black men. Okay. And the statistics and the data and the facts support that. But don't nobody give a fuck about us. But, when something happens to y'all, we got to mobilize and we got to be on the front lines and ready to fight like I'm a strong Black woman. It don't work like that, nigga. It don't. So, and maybe this is me playing into the duality portion of this transit. You know, on one hand, I'm all for eradicating white supremacy, burn the shit down. You're not going to get an argument from me in regards to rioting and everything else. I don't give a fuck. This whole country can burn to smithereens, and I will be so thankful. But on another hand, I feel like Black women should not be on the front lines of this said movement, especially if we're talking about matters of actual warfare and combat. Because first of all, these are men. Okay, aren't y'all supposed to be the protectors and providers? Don't y'all want submissive women and feminine women, right? Let these niggas tell it. So why do y'all groom us to be your attack dogs anytime some shit pops off with y'all? You got Black women, like, it kind of annoys me. Now, for some women, I understand, I guess, kind of, sort of, because I do know a lot of Black women who have made the argument like, well, I got Black sons. I got Black fathers. But the gag is, when something happens to Black women, these same Black fathers and sons don't be nowhere to be found. They don't. So, and I hate to say it like that, and I'm not trying to make Black women feel some way about, you know, like, oh, should I hate my son? Should I hate my daddy? Should I hate my uncle? And I'm being 100, and maybe it's because I have a daughter, but I'm going to be 100% honest when I say it's very one-sided. And although on an individual level, you also have women who like, nuh-uh, not me. My daddy loved me. My brother loved me. We're talking collectively here, sis. And on a collective level, it's not reciprocated. That energy is not reciprocated. Not reciprocated. Our deaths are always mostly ignored. Brianna in Louisville has a protest going on right now. Excellent. So where's her murals? But where like the type of outcry and focal point that this man, once again, George, I'm just horrible with names, y'all. Excuse me. George, I believe. The type of outrage that this sparked. Because when a lot of people are chanting, they're talking about George. Collectively speaking, this whole movement is about George. Or at least he's the face of it. Yeah, like it just is what it is. I'm nobody's mammy mule. I'm nobody's attack mule. Because the gag is Black men are the white people of Black people. So yes, y'all are unfairly targeted by white supremacy. We know this. And that is unfucking fortunate. But as a collective, that does not give you the right to turn around and oppress other marginalized groups of people, such as Black women, gay, queer, trans Black people. These are people who are killed and who suffer abuse from Black men within the community at disproportionate rates every day. And where's their movements? Where are our murals and rioting but when it's time to go in, y'all want us to ride like no limit soldiers for y'all. And then the minute somebody points that out, we're being divisive. And the irony in this here is that the fact that Black men have modeled themselves after their quote unquote oppressor, because they use the same rhetoric on us as white people use on them. That's the gag, right? The gaslighting. Well, that's not that. It's not the same thing. And why are you being divisive, right? Because that's what white people do. They want everybody to unite when it's convenient to them, right? So you're being divisive. Racism doesn't exist. But then they'll turn around, Black men will turn around and do the same thing to women. The Black community needs to come together. This is divisive, bitch. Suck my dick. Okay? And before I get swept up in my Mercury Cancer current, I'm gonna just leave it at that. And that's my opinion. That's pretty much that on that. And George was engaged to a white woman. That's another huge component that actually further proves my point and reiterates what I'm saying here. A lot of these Black women are out here fighting tooth nail for men who, A, do not protect you, B, who don't even prefer your ass to even date your funky ass, okay? Or C, who just otherwise don't care, don't hold each other accountable, who are just indifferent, or who are too busy abusing you their damn selves and dehumanizing you. That's all I'm saying. But when it's time to jump, we supposed to jump. When it's time to, assume formation, girls, come on, let's get information, ladies. We got to get information and be on the front lines on some like rah-rah nigga shit. Huh? Make it make sense. Women are to be protected. Exactly. Yes, at the end of the day, she was a Black woman. White women don't go out with the KK. Exactly. They don't. Come on. Come on, Madame of Hugh. Exactly. As cowardly as they are, them motherfucking saltines put on them Casper capes and hats and they ride out themselves. But we gotta be expected to fight and do this, that, and the third, bitch. You got me fucked up, is what you got me. No, don't hate your man, but it's more so stop writing so hard for someone who's not writing for us. Correct. The white conservatives were quiet as fuck, knowing damn well they couldn't defend that cop, but they loud as fuck down. Oh no, I'm in and out. Also, people didn't protest for Venetia Ratcliffe. Okay. Why do people want the most vapid celebrities to speak? And that's another thing with Saturn and Aquarius. Even the playing field. These motherfuckers ain't got no information that's more valuable than the information you can find yourself. Okay? Conjure up your own thought forms and quit looking to these motherfuckers for shit. No, Beyonce called the family and spoke. Fuck the Kardashians. I agree. Beyonce, what? Never been a public person. Where did Beyonce come from? Right? Tell the white woman to put her life on the line. Fuck Beyonce. I'm sorry and not sorry. And you know what? I second that. Black women are motherfucking tired. We tired. I'm not your lover and your secretary and your homie lover friend and your this and your that and your that. Nigga, go. Nigga, you're smoking dick. You a man, ain't you? So go be a go. And that's another thing. Like, y'all, they quick to don't even get me started because this might turn into a male bashing live. I'm not doing it. Not going there. Now I'm not getting caught up in the current. Nor do I want to be viewed as someone who hates all Black men. And the actuality is, I don't hate all Black men. I hate most Black men, not all. Interestingly enough, I had a very profound and intimate exchange with a Scorpio man tonight. And, you know, I put this on Twitter. I don't think Scorpios get the credit that they deserve for being healers. Y'all are some healers. I mean, of course, you know, most people reference the chaotic and the lower vibrational part of that Scorpionic energy, but the evolved Scorpio is such a beautiful human being to witness, you know, with this guy. And it was completely platonic, but I felt everything about his presence, the depth, and he would say things that it was so Scorpio, like, you know, me and you are the same, right? Scorpio deals with bonds and binds. It fuses things together, right? So perceptive, but also so calming, so powerful. I've never experienced nothing like that with nobody, especially nobody that I wasn't dating or nobody that I wasn't intimately, or maybe sexually or something like that, dealing with or messing around with. Like, talking to him and being blessed with him, it felt like a warm hug, and I needed it. And I said all that to say, I've experienced Black men who are very godly. It's a shame it's only 10 of them on a planet, but they exist. And I want to be very clear about making that distinction. Yeah, just leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I can't even feel bad about the riot. It's like, I don't care. This shit has been building up since forever. Agreed. That Scorpio healing is like no other. It's like no other. It's because Scorpio literally it's the planet of, like I said, depth, in that same vein of like of transformation. These people are so restorative in the regeneration of it all. You give them your traumas and they hand you back something new. Like, and these people, a lot of Scorpios and people with very prominent Scorpio placements are people who've undergone lots of traumatic experiences. These are people who have kind of dived into the depths of their own psyche for a lot of different reasons. So these are very strong people. And there are some great people to have on your team when you're going through shit. These are excellent. This is why a lot of Scorpios, and depending on, you know, what planet it's attached to, you know, I see this in the charts of people who make excellent psychologists, excellent counselors, so on and so forth. It's just like, you know, Hey, Unique. Scorpio risings too. It's like finding a needle in a motherfucking haystack. Whose presence feel? I love men whose presence feel like a warm hug. They are going extinct, but they are there. That's what I'm saying. Never experienced that sort of healing. It was powerful. Because y'all want to know what happened? So, like, basically, I got caught up in, like I said, like this whole undercurrent. And I have a lot of background emotional trauma. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you know I ain't even gonna go into it. But, you know, I'm biased to a large degree because I do have a lot of trauma surrounding men in my life. And, you know, I was just in my feelings today, like, but for a different reason that everybody else was in theirs. Like, yeah, okay, white supremacy is bad. Okay, yeah, oh, this is horrible. But I was thinking more so of like, I could not get past this chip on my shoulder with black men. I just couldn't, because I was just like, you niggas, if y'all ain't got nothing else, y'all got nerve and audacity, right? You spit in my face, you disrespect me, and then expect me to give you something back or to protest for you. Da, 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 da. You know, I was dealing with all these feelings. And, you know, he just kind of hit me up out of nowhere. And the fact that he knew to hit me up at that exact time, in that moment, that was some psychic shit in and of itself. And then he just said, you want to talk? Talk to me. And I was like, okay. And we just, everything about him, it was just so soothing. Like, and he spoke with such, he was just such an intelligent and introspective person. And like I said, it was like, I don't know if I feel like he was giving me dad energy, like not zaddy energy. I mean, it could be zaddy energy, but I mean, it was more like dad energy, like dad, like father energy. But also like divinity energy and king energy, but then maybe a little sprinkle of zaddy energy. I don't even know how all those things can coexist in the same space. But it was just crazy. And I was just like, wow. And I feel like maybe I needed that exchange to kind of shape me. And maybe that was God's way of kind of like trying to get me to see certain things. And I needed that. I needed that interaction. Your daughter's a Scorpio rising. Marry him. I wish I could, but he lives all the way in, I think he's in the UK now. But it did cross my mind, like, wait a goddamn minute now. I guess now is the wrong time to find my rich husband and live happily ever after. Look, it ain't never too late to find your rich man and live happily ever after, honey. Well, actually, I didn't told you about yourself. You just hard-headed. As far as your chart goes. Right, it always feels like the wrong time for everything. I mean, can we just be honest about the fact that 2020, this shit is on some, like, it feels like this is a film. Like, you cannot, like, a team of producers and writers could not come up with a more dynamic, interesting, suspense-filled plot. This sounds like some shit niggas made up. All right, so it's finna be a whole pandemic, right? And after the no, Kobe Bryant finna die in a fiery crash. Then when that nigga gone, it's gonna be a whole pandemic, and then we're gonna let out the killer bees on their ass, right? And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna kill a couple niggas. It's gonna be some riots, and then we're gonna, all right, what's next? What's next? This is the episode on Punk'd. I'm like, Lord. And then let's talk about, well, we've been talking about Doja Cat, but I saw a meme where it was like, Doja, bitch, we ain't forgot. We just dealing with some more important shit right now. Like, bitch, we finna put your ass on ice. Don't think you got off the hook, ho. We coming back to your monkey ass, bitch. You just wait right there. She probably somewhere thinking like, thank God, like the attention has been diverted. Nah, bitch, we ain't forget about your pussy ass. You wait right there, ho. On the astrology standpoint, what can make a person that's into candle magic? Well, I see a lot of very like intuitive, quote unquote, witchy aspects in the charts of people who have basically like your water houses could have like Scorpio placements. So like people with Scorpio in the 4th, Scorpio in the 8th house, especially. These are very psychic people, and they can have a lot of powers like of manifestation. Even Scorpio in the 12th, their prominent Cancer placements. I'm trying to see like it just depends. A lot of Pisces North nodes are amazing manifestors, amazing at witchcraft. And shout out to my Pluto Sagittarius generation. Depending on how that is aspected, you can see that, in the charts of a lot of people who are very not just intuitive, but can be into some real like occult magic shit. Like we can get into some gangster shit, right? Especially when we were talking about like left-handed magic. That's that Scorpio energy all day. Summoning demons. So, somebody having a certain, especially stelliums, 8th house stelliums, but you can't sleep on that Cancer energy either. Cancer people who have very prominent Cancer energy, like I said, Cancer is the sign of the ancestors. So these are people who do really well with ancestral worship and stuff. These people almost have like a direct connection, so to speak, to their ancestors. But so does Pisces. So depending on what planets you may have in those two signs, and what, especially if they fall in like water houses or positive aspects to Neptune, right? Pluto Scorpio in the 10th house isn't necessarily like a witchy or like a super intuitive placement, but it just would depend on like what is being aspected with. Dude, those are relief as fuck right now. Did you see the picture of that building burning? What are some of the? There was some very, yeah, I did. Are you talking about like the precinct? 9508 babies are lit. Come on now. But I'm gonna let you have your moment. But the Pluto Scorpio generation, come on now. We like in here, like fuck Doja Cat. I haven't forgot. How does this Gemini North Node affect people with North Node? Well, like I said, it can kind of give people like a boost, like a power drive, where it's exasperating a lot of these energies. Y'all are going to feel compelled to do a lot more communicating with other people, which could definitely be, again, and you might be a lot more willing to listen to other, I guess you could say, divergent points of view. Because, if you're a Gemini North Node, that means you're Sagittarius South Nodes. And a lot of Sagittarius South Nodes don't do, a lot of Sag South Nodes be in their preachy bag. They feel like you can't tell them shit. But, with this boost, with all this, North Node Gemini energy going on, you'll be a lot more open-minded, right? A lot more flexible in your ideals and thoughts, and a lot more willing to communicate those thoughts. There could also be a tendency for you, like I said, you to have to learn how. These people could spend a lot more time on their phones, which, not for nothing, with Saturn in Aquarius, a lot of people could be on their phones around this time. Yeah. That's really the main thing. Sagittarius South Nodes need to learn how to like just step off of their high horse and come back down to earth and just like chill and become the teacher, or student, instead of always feeling like you somebody teacher. They screened in the comments. What is going on? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, this is just I don't know. Tonight is crazy. Hit the option of live chat. Instagram would not let me post live footage of the Black Lives Matter event. Now, I will say this, though, too, because if this is like just a regular Black Lives Matters event, then okay, but I noticed a lot of people showing pictures and shit of people actually like the actual protesters and people rioting. That's not cool. I'm not saying that was you and that was your intent. I'm just saying. Marilyn, what's the topic of tonight? Well, we kind of like on the tail of it, but just talking about the current transits and this whole situation with Minneapolis and other places, and how Black women are not Black men's attack mules when it comes to fighting white supremacy. Because a lot of times we have our own issues and we're killed and abused and tortured, and nobody got shit to say. But nonetheless, you know, like I said, I'm pro fucking shit up when need be, right? It's getting crazy. It's so weird how these companies say freedom of speech, but watch your moves and block you from. Girl, ain't shit free. It's America. Everything come with a price and heavy regulation. Hi, Melon Lemon. Having Saturn and Pisces in the 5th house. It could definitely create a lot of issues in regards to your self-expression. A lot of these people have issues completely like taking control of themselves and in their own, harnessing their own individual willpower to like, you know, like live life on their own terms. These people can walk around feeling like victims a lot. A lot of them have really big abandonment issues. There could be a lot of karma surrounding your ability to be honest and truthful. And I'm pretty sure you could attract some pretty fucked up relationships. Yeah, because there is a tendency for like that constant type of victimization theme in your relationships. Y'all could be kind of gullible and naive. So that's actually a key placement for somebody who could attract a narcissistic partner. OMG, me and my friend was just talking about this. It's like no one cares about us. Exactly. YouTube is basically telling me to be quiet. We need to be stomping on the police like how we stomping on these fat ass rats in New York. But then there could be some negative. But you know, I'm on YouTube, so I can't even say what I really want to say. But I think you know what I'm trying to say. If you know what I'm trying to say, if we on the same vibration, you know what I'm trying to say. Certain things, if you really committed to the act of warfare. I mean, I'm not advocating for nothing. So let's make that very clear. I'm not advocating for nothing. I'm just saying. People with their Saturn and Taurus have a lot of karma attached to playing it safe. These are people who could have self-esteem issues, people who naturally, lack the depending on how it's being aspected, kind of like the ability to take healthy risks and chances. These are people who are addicted to a certain level of complacency, insecurity, lots of karma in regards to your valuables, possessions. Whew. On America's birth chart, I'm about to wrap this live up, so that'll probably be another video. I just mentally and energetically, I'm kind of drained. They not letting me comment anything about police brutality. What? Okay, so I'll add that to my list of readings. I was gonna do Shamik Moore. Actually, I'm gonna close out with Shamik Moore's reading, and then everything else I'll tag on until the next video or the next video. So the Azalea Banks and the U.S. birth chart. Not all people are bad. I agree. What you can't comment? Now let's speaking up because we exposing their ass. Hey, famous nobody. Okay. So let me see if I can play this Shamik Moore video so y'all can hear what this motherfucking. Ugh, I don't even know what to call him. I was just so taken aback. Like, nigga, what? Eric? That nigga said Rosa Parks should have rode a taxi, caught a taxi or a cab. I'm just, for so many reasons. Shamik Moore. Rosa Parks. Let me see if I can play this for y'all. Shamik Moore is an actor. He's actually he was this Black Spider-Man. He was also in that movie. What was it called with ASAP Rocky back in like 2015? Called like Dope or something like that. So I am going to share my screen. Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it, yeah. Let me know if y'all can hear this. If y'all can hear the sound. Hold on.
When I need to grow my business, I use Fiverr. I found a designer for my logo, a programmer for my website, writers for my content. Just search, click, and you're done. I love the results so much, I even got the logo tattooed on my arm.
Dope. Yeah. Okay. That's what it was.
Rosa Parks sitting at the front of the bus, right? What we don't know as a Black community is that there were his family, Dr. Claude Anderson, had Black-owned taxi cabs and Black buses that could have been used during that time. You know, now this is something that a lot of people might not want to hear. I should probably have this conversation with an OG, but what I'm getting to with that is if our resources. He went into Rosa Parks sitting at the front of the bus, right? What we don't know as a Black community is that there were his family, Dr. Claude Anderson, had black-owned taxi cabs and black buses that could have been used during that time. You know, now this is something that a lot of people might not want to hear. I should probably have this conversation with an OG, but what I'm getting to with that.
What's up, guys? This is your boy.
Okay, I ain't trying to hear the narration. Shut up, nigga. I'm trying to see if I can get the raw footage. But did y'all hear that though? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear him say? Did y'all hear this man say Rosa Parks could have taken a taxi cab? Huh? I should have probably had this conversation with the OGs. I'm like, no, nigga, you should have probably kept that shit to your fucking self. That's what you probably should have done. That's probably what that was probably your best bet. But you know, here we are. He's mentally delayed. He won't be getting casted anymore. And he has the nerve to be wearing the fake ass bottoms. I used to think he was so cute, but y'all hear the way he talk. Okay, so let's get to his birth chart. And I'm gonna share my screen on that one. Hold on. Cause this nigga done lost his motherfucking mind, right? Okay. Let's try it again. And this time I'm going to be using astrocharts.com. I created his birth chart myself. So Shamik Moore was born on May 4th, 1995. It says Atlanta, Georgia, but word on the curb is he has Jamaican roots. Okay. Welcome to Jamrock. He ugly. Probably would have got slapped. Okay, so yeah. You know, word on the curb is he has Jamaican family, which does make a lot of things make sense. Yeah. So about that. With that being said, he's actually a Taurus sun, with his sun conjunct his South Node. He's actually a Taurus South Node, which is actually it's saying a lot, because a lot of Tauruses, right, and people with very prominent Taurus energy, not only can they have like more conservative points of view, these are people who, you know, Taurus is the sign of the status quo. So these are people who automatically even take a kind of like conformatism, or if that's a word, conformative approach to dealing with things. But these are also people who can be very superficial and shallow. Like, they can be the type of people to make certain assessments and have a very shallow understanding of those things, which obviously can lead to you looking stupid as fuck. Something else that kind of stood out to me was the fact that his Mercury was at the 2nd degree of Gemini. I can't remember in what way it was being aspected. Okay, trining Uranus. I mean, of course, once again, right, that Mercury Gemini is a very opinionated person. Well, look at here. It's in opposition to his Pluto at the 29th degree of Scorpio, retrograde, of course. And that can actually even deal with a person who is, you know, very opinionated about these racial issues. The number 29, right? Who has very extreme points of view, radical points of view when dealing with race. So actually, I wouldn't even be surprised if he was like an all lives matter type nigga, which is how he's striking me. Another thing that I kind of see here is the fact that his moon is at the, well, we can debate the degree of the moon because we don't know his actual birth time, but he's a Cancer moon. And once again, with Cancer also being one of those signs that deal with race, or at the very least culture and nationality, this stood out to me as it could support quite a few things. So number one, it could deal with him being somebody who has very strong ties and roots to his Jamaican heritage. But I also noticed, so like, for example, Exhibit A, his moon is forming a, where was it? Where the fuck was it? I just saw it. His moon was doing something weird. Ah, there it is. His moon was quincunxing his Saturn, right? His Saturn, which is at the 21st degree of Pisces. About that, I don't necessarily trust it. Well, this could deal with him having some issues in regards to women and mommy issues, but I could also see this being somebody who is just kind of out of touch, out of the loop when it comes to certain ideas and stuff like that. But he has something else that I really wanted to hone in on, though, and I can't find it. His moon quincunx Uranus, that's what it was. With his Uranus at the 0 degree of Aquarius. This gives me, I'm one of those Black kids who feel separated from my Blackness. With his moon quincunx, his Uranus in Aquarius. That's the aspect that jumped out at me. Because this could create a person like a weird ass kid and somebody with very weird and eclectic points of view in regards to either their race, religion, and that type of thing. He might have been one of those people who don't necessarily identify with his Blackness so much. I feel like maybe he could identify with the whole Jamaican thing, but we all know the Black American component is a completely different story, especially when it comes to a lot of immigrants and children of Black immigrants and whatever and what have you. Let me see what else could just explain why this nigga don't know how to shut the fuck up. Oh yeah, his Jupiter in Sagittarius at the 13th degree of Sagittarius is squaring his Chiron at the 20th degree of Virgo. And that could even do with where he may have some difficulty fitting in and assimilating to other cultures. Hence, you can look at this as our culture, right? This nigga just saying shit and you don't have the fucking facts, boo. You didn't do all the research that you needed to in order to make an intelligent opinion. And now look at you. Look at you. He don't speak for Jamaicans. We don't claim. Yeah. I don't know why YouTube is filtering these comments, y'all. If y'all are just joining the chat, oh, we got our likes up. Never mind. Y'all shut me up tonight. Okay. But yeah. So I'm trying to see, is there anything else I really give a fuck about in this chart? What was the point? What was the point of what? I finally made it home and now I can cut up with y'all. Where were you, Angelica? Yeah, this is about it. I don't really give a fuck about nothing else you got going on. But, I mean, this Saturn in Pisces opposing his Chiron and Virgo, I'm wondering if he has some mental health issues. His damn self. Even with his moon quincunx Uranus. So I don't think he's all the way together, y'all. Now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think he is. I just don't. I just don't. Fighting for toilet paper at Walmart. Hey, but did you get it? Did you get some? Should I hit my crush in his DM? Life was too short, girl. Yellow. Obama. Ugh. Barack. Welcome to Jamrock. Out in the streets, they call it murder. Jamaica, Jamaica. Yeah. All right. So this nigga here was born August 4th, 1961, 7:24 p.m. in Honolulu, Hawaii. Okay. Well, first off, he's a Leo sun. So that makes a lot of sense as far as his charisma. And a Leo North node. At that. So, I mean, if you want to think about it, wait a minute. What's his ascendant? Aquarius. When you want to think about it, he was kind of destined for fame, especially in his 7th house of affairs, right? Public affairs, business. You know, this could even deal with him being growing the popularity in law. I mean, that 7th house deals with politicians too, as well as lawyers and things of that nature. And when you think about it, a lot of politicians actually start off being lawyers. Yeah, but that could absolutely deal with where he has kind of like a duty or an obligation to, maybe not an obligation, but he was destined for stardom. And even when you look at that, all that Leo energy, it's very kingly. It's very, very much, it's very much like presidential tea. Like, you know, so he was just naturally born for that. Something else that's kind of interesting. Well, first of all, I don't trust no motherfucker with Chiron in their 1st house, a Pisces. That gives me very deceptive teas. And it's opposing his Pluto, which is also in the 7th house of Virgo. And that could deal with where there could be a lot of issues in regards to a lot of cover-ups. I wouldn't be surprised if he received a lot of help to cover things up. You know, especially when it comes to like an employment perspective. Maybe he has some people who work for him where it's like some shady shit going on. Or he had to bend over backwards to help other people kind of erase some shit and cover some shit up. Are the girls adopted? His sun is in his 6th house of Leo. Oh, Neptune in the 9th house of Scorpio right there. That's him being, that's deceptiveness all fucking day long when it comes to politics. But I digress. Especially with this squaring his Mercury. Obama is a liar. Mercury square Neptune. I'm just losing respect for this motherfucker by the day, by the minute, by the second, by the hour. I was looking for something else though. Well, I forgot what it was. Sun square Neptune. That even once again deals with the illusions, the bullshit. That nigga got a lot of skeletons in his motherfucking closet, especially with his Neptune being in the 9th house of fucking Sagittarius. The 9th house deals with politics and foreign affairs. And I also think that's kind of funny that Obama does have a reputation for having and engaging in underhanded business and dealings, you know, overseas with other countries. And this nigga has also managed to expand the wars. We're fighting shadow wars. People don't even understand that we're still at war. We were at war during almost his entire presidency. Newsflash. This nigga is not who y'all think he is. What else? But he is a charismatic ass motherfucker. I will give him that. Jupiter sextile heaven. Also very what you call it? Very powerful, very influential. Fourth house Gemini moon. Okay, Crafty Tees. I want to know more about his relationship with Michelle. And this Gemini moon right here. Let me find out Obama is a cheater. Let me see how it's aspected. Let me find out Obama out here cheating. Living two different lives, one girl in the day, you at night. I mean, even with his moon opposing his midheaven, that could definitely be somebody who presents one way and is another way in private, in the privacy of his own home, bedroom. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of sees. One girl in the day, you at night. Didn't even know this ain't right. Oh no, his moon is squaring Chiron. Oh, in Pisces. Not the moon squaring Chiron in Pisces, y'all. His relationship with Michelle could be I'm not gonna say a farce, but they would strike me as the type of people, even if like they decided to break up or fall out, they're gonna keep up illusions. You know. You can also even look at this Virgo energy in his seventh house is him being a public servant. But the gag is, let me see how it's aspected, how his Mars and stuff. Well, like I said, his Mars is trying Jupiter. So I'll give him that. I feel like he does have some type of altruistic leanings. But I tell you one thing though, with his what is this? Saturn and Jupiter and Capricorn in his 12th house, this nigga is a slave to corporations. Like I've always fucking said. I'm just done. I'm fucking done. He is the most attractive president, but he's very deceptive. Take a shot. Let's do it. I know I'm late. Have you taken yours already? I got mine. You ready? Wait, I hope you're talking about alcohol, or is my drunk ass just embarrassing myself? Isn't he bisexual as well? Well, is he bisexual? I don't know. He got Gemini in the fifth. Let me see what his Mars is doing again. Now, remember where I said we're looking at somebody's sexuality? This is an excellent time to, you know what I mean? Look at niggas, Black Moon Lilith and whatnot. I just can't get enough of the way you put it down. Girl, let's just make love. It's for the last time. It was the last time. Okay. Black Moon Lilith at the 20th degree of Leo. So it's conjunct his sun and his north node, but also squaring his ascendant. Conjunct his Uranus. If I say what I think I want to say, hold on, let me gather a little bit more evidence before I say what I think I want to say. Because I kind of feel some ways about some things. His Mars is forming a quincunx to his ascendant, that Virgo Mars. I'm gonna be real. It's a possibility, y'all. It's a strong possibility. And I'm also not really liking what I'm seeing based on like how his son is being aspected. I hope Obama is not into no like child trafficking shit. But even if he was, I'm not gonna say this on my YouTube channel because I ain't trying to come out missing. This some Patreon talk. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna just shut the fuck up. I don't have nothing to say. It's fake and he's gay. Problem solved. Well, he already experienced his second Saturn return like last year, the year before last. Well, like I said, he ended up getting rewarded for it because after he left office, and ever since he's left office, he's been doing all of these speaking engagements with these corporations that pay him hundreds and thousands of dollars for doing their bidding. I'm kidding out there, so Michelle is trans. Saying the word in the internet streets, I already know. Okay. Listen, famous nobody. I ain't said a word. Y'all just make sure. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up my Patreon because it's the end of the month, so that means, you know what I'm saying, when it's the first of the month again. When is that? Tomorrow or whenever the case, or today? Shit, what is today? Today is the 30th. So actually on Monday, come Monday, y'all need to make sure you sign up for my Patreon. I got one. Shout out to my girl Scorpio Forever. But yeah, because I kind of caution people to kind of hold on to subscriptions right now because I don't want them to bill y'all twice. Excuse me, like, you know, because they bill you for each month. So like if you subscribe today, depending on what tier, well, I guess all tiers essentially, they would bill you now and then it would bill you again on Monday, and I don't want them to do that. But I'm gonna still pull up my information so y'all know where to find me. So y'all know where to find me. And on Patreon, basically, you guys can expect more content like this. So more lives, Q&As, expect podcasts. I'm actually working on a podcast. So different podcast episodes for my premium Patreons. We're definitely going to be doing monthly transit readings for you guys. So it's like, I mean, a lot, like, little going on, like, just a little bit. Here we go. I said the last time, it's not the last time. I just can't get enough of the way you put it down. You got me tripping. So, you know, like I said, don't feel pressed to join just now. I just created it. But starting on Monday, y'all can go in and we can definitely make some shit shake. And after my first 100 Patreon members, I'm definitely going to be doing a raffle, a giveaway. Okay, because I got some real big shit in store, y'all. And my Patreon members are going to be the first ones to receive those things. And when you know, you know. Because it's y'all, you'll see. You'll see. I'm tired. Are you teaching on there? Can you put up a tutorial of mapping daily transits? I can. I can do some lessons, some basic astrology tutorials, transits, and otherwise. You put it down. Yes, y'all gonna get a record from me, Jessica. One of these days. I already have an ASAP Rocky video. Regine. I did a reading on him back when the whole situation happened with him getting locked up in Sweden. Will your classes be on there? I don't know if these are going to be formal classes, but I will do segments like little tutorials. Because when I start teaching courses, they're probably going to be something completely separate. But like I said, I will, do some basics and kind of give you guys some basic delineation tips and methods and tricks and all that good stuff. I need a theme song. Okay, I need to figure out one. Or y'all help me if y'all know one. I do need a whole motherfucking theme song and then play that shit on making my intro. And yeah. So at this point, I'm opening up the floor to the boys and girls of the world. If y'all have anything, because I'm really tired, y'all. I'm tired between today. Like I said, my emotions have just been running high all day. I've been working, doing readings. I'm just tired. I don't really have it in me to be up at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm just tired, y'all. Come on, Walker. It's now the time to start new relationships. Let's see. I'm pulling up the current transits. I said the last time. You be wrong with those Aboriginal, Indigenous American YouTube blogs too. Can I do a Mercury sign set? Yes. That might be, but that's something that's definitely going to be on my Patreon. Yeah, that'll probably be on my Patreon. Because I was thinking about something like, what's your learning style, right? Your learning style based on your Mercury placement. And we can also even get into things that you guys might want to know, like fame indicators, wealth indicators, that type of thing. Breaking down the concepts of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in astrology. I'm gonna be real though. With Venus, now that I'm thinking about it, how's it being aspected? This Venus retrograde in Gemini. This might not be a time for new relationships, sis. Yeah, and it's squaring Neptune and Mars and Pisces. Yeah, nah, it's not. You might want to relax. No problem. But with that being said, I am going to close out the live. I love you people so much. I love you guys to pieces. Y'all mean so much to me, and I just want to say thank y'all. Thank you. I love you. And I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. Yeah. Why am I getting emotional, y'all? Look, this work getting cancer. Like I said, it's conjunct my cancer south node. So like I'm deep in my feels right now. Like I'm just really grateful that you guys are you enjoy my content, and I love y'all. I fuck with y'all. I love us for real. So y'all take care of yourselves. Be safe out here. Between the Rona and the police and niggas saying Rosa Parks should have caught a cab. I know it's crazy. But I will holler at you guys sometime in the near future. All right. So good night.